newest member hanging out with us, able to ring the bell. It was a fun job. But I'm telling you, the after show is going to be fire. No pressure, Prad, but you got some big expectations for the next couple of shows in the earnings season. With that, no further ado, let's get right into the after show with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Platinum Prad.
Hello, test. What the problem was over there, but we're back live. But as I was saying, call me whatever you guys want. I'm okay with it. We're going to have a lot of fun, as we always do, ladies and gentlemen. And this closed show is brought to you, after the closed show is brought to you by Kalshi. Trade on market event outcomes. Kalshi is a federally regulated exchange supported by renowned investors such as Sequoia Capital, Y Combinator, Charles Schwab, and others. It offers a new asset class called event contracts, allowing users to directly trade on the outcome of the market events. Today's poll comes directly from their website. What do you think the highest Fed's fund rate will be? And you have three options right there: 5.25 to 5.5, 5.5 to 6, or 6 to 6.24. If you wanna, if you think it'll be higher or lower, the Fed's final fund rate that they want to stick to, the highest fund rate that they want to stick to, you can go on their website directly and bet using a money over here on their website. So check out Kalshi. Thank you for sponsoring the After the Close show. As you guys know, obviously, earnings season is upon us. You might have gotten a quick glimpse at what stock I was looking at over there. We got a couple stocks with earnings tonight after hours. It's the two main ones on list over there are WAL, Western Alliance, and IBKR. IBKR looks like their numbers are out, and we're actually dropping to the downside. So why don't we dive right into the stock over here? IBKR did pop up to begin with. I'm guessing their numbers were good, but overall, coming out with the negative guidance maybe, or something bad in there, that the reports are being, not really being appreciated by the market overall, and IBKR pushing down to that $84 area. I also want to, I have this ready. I want to take a look at it. I just haven't taken a look at it just yet. So it looks like they're expecting a 4% moves overall on IBKR, a drop down to $82 or a pop up to 89. The stock did pop up to 89 previously off the initial move on the earnings report, which was supposed to come out at 4, so makes sense why we're seeing the move already. And for those of you wondering what time Western Alliance announces their numbers come out at 4:30, so we'll take a look at that number around then too. So here's IBKR popping back up right now without moving down to 82 just yet, popping back up right back into today's range. Sadly, IBKR doesn't really do too much volume throughout the day. The average, where is the average volume over here? Does this show average volume? It's supposed to. If this doesn't, we can just quickly head over to FinWiz and get the data from there. So looking for FinViz logo. That's not FinViz. That's not FinViz either. That's FinViz. There we go. FinViz, IBKR. I think the average volume on this stock is pretty low. Look at that. And this is the average of 3 months. Average 3-month volume, 858,000 shares. IBKR average 10-day volume coming in at around the same amount of average volume share so far. So IBKR, yeah, moving around at the moment, but throughout the day, it might not have enough volume for us to, make a bet. I'm gonna pick 5.25 to 5.49% on Fed's final rate, because I don't think the Fed's actually going to 5.5 to 6 coming in. I know they did say that they want to raise hikes by 2 more points or so, or give 2 more hikes so far. And the first one's being planned for the July 26th date, and the next one after that. But I think with how every little market numbers are coming out, the economic data is coming out, the Fed might just be able to stop at 5.25 to 5.5, but that's just my speculation over there. Obviously, we have to wait for economic data to come out, but that was the vote over there. We got 11 votes so far. Make sure you guys are voting up in the chat. Make that vote be known. Make your opinion be known. I would like to see where you guys think the Fed's final rate hike will be. So IBKR over here already stopped moving, as you guys can see. Volume already dying down big time. It brought in about like 200, 300,000 shares in about per minute scale, but immediately dropping down to 2,000 shares or less than 2,000 shares. That's a sad story with the IBKR. So tomorrow, not sure if we actually will end up finding any trades off of this, but if we were looking for some levels over here, let's go to the daily chart. IBKR pulling back into a little bit of the I think 52-week high ranges almost, not really back to 52-week high. We already have it open. Let's go to the 1-year chart. Is that all-time high? Yeah, pretty much near all-time highs for IBKR here. Pretty damn strong, especially after all the GME stuff they did. I would think that people would stop using IBKR and boycott IBKR the way people boycotted, what's that company name? Robinhood. But looks like that's not how it's playing out overall. IBKR still coming out with decent numbers. Today's numbers, as far as I know, did come out positive. But if you guys in the chat see any other numbers opposite to that, do let me know. Well, I think based on overall over here, options are expecting a drop down to $82. We already saw a drop down to 83 or so. Let's see if it popped back up. Did it pop back up? I'm guessing it did not. Yeah, it's still dropping. So most likely we see $82 coming into play somewhere throughout the day, and going into tomorrow, we see the stock trickling down to that $80 marker or so. While we wait for WAL to announce earnings also at 4:30, why don't we first quickly go show you guys what the options numbers are being expected for WAL. The options move for WAL now that WAL is cleared past that 42 area. 42 was a pretty significant area on said position. So now that we're past that 42, the options expected move is about 9%. So we're looking for a move up to $46, $47 actually, $46.92, let's say 47. Expecting a move up to $47 on Western Alliance, or a drop down to $39 on Western Alliance based on how the earnings report comes out at 4:30. Not too long from here. Tick, 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 tick. We'll just keep waiting for this one to come out. But as I said, while we're waiting for these earnings to come out, why don't we take a quick little recap of the stocks that had earnings today and how they were profitable to some of us on the floor. First one coming up, Bank of America. Bank of America yesterday was a pretty fun trade. We took that 29 long, rode it up to 29.50. 29.50 ended up being the barrier. Yesterday in the 4 o'clock show, we talked about Bank of America, how it could have a possible move up to 30.40, 30.50 areas. Today, keeping that in mind, I got long in this 30 area for Bank of America, rode it all the way up to 30.50, 30.60 areas, and then I left some more shares for a bigger profitable move if it does show up. Thankfully, it did. My best out, I believe, was at the high of the day at 30.88, and the last few shares I got out near 30.70, 30.60s or so. Very happy with that one. But tomorrow, what kind of moves do we expect from Bank of America? We still got a couple more banks coming out with earnings report. WAL, IBKR, not really a bank, but a trading bank, kind of like how Morgan Stanley is and Goldman Sachs is. So Goldman Sachs numbers are coming out tomorrow, pre-market. FHN is another, I believe, regional bank earnings number coming out tomorrow, pre-market. So all these banks still coming out, so banking sector is still very much in play, very much active. So I think tomorrow we could possibly find more trades over here incoming on the banking sector itself. So I want to quickly go take a look at where this bad boy is, Bank of America. Look at that. So now the fact that we're above that 30, clearing past that 30 area right here, was bullish enough for me to get long. Now I'm looking for the stock to clear that 31 area and start making an even more run up to the north side. If I was to throw that line somewhere right there, that's pretty much where we rejected today. 31, I think we get past 31 tomorrow. We got beautiful long direction moves coming in. I also want to quickly take a look at, that's supposed to be the 50-period EMA, I believe, the blue line. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, the blue line is the 50-period EMA. You want the 50-period EMA to be above the 100-period EMA, especially when the chart's showing you a little bit of a move up. kind of confirms the trend reversal when the crossovers of the moving averages happens. As you guys can see right here, a little bit of a minor confirmation that the trend has been reversed, but then immediate move right back to the downside, and the failure of the trend reversal happens twice actually. And then over here, a bigger move to the downside, just confirming that, hey, overall trend to the banks is to the downside. As you guys can see right around here, that trend reverses, the moving averages crossover happens, and now we're expecting that to happen somewhere around here, especially if we like the earnings moves that for banks that are coming out. I don't think a single bank has missed. Wells Fargo reported, Bank of America reported. What's the other one that reported? Wells Fargo, Citibank reported. So a bunch of banks reporting, and all of them reporting to the north side. Charles Schwab, Morgan Stanley, so all of them basically moving up in a beautiful fashion. Morgan Stanley was a monster trade today too. We talked about that $90 break. If you took the 90 break, you got about barely $1, $2 or so. But if you look at the overall move throughout the day today, I would be honest, I would have not been able to, look for a possible trade on this because I was so adamant on wanting to wait for the 90 area. But if you just took the pre-market breakout, the 88 breakout gave you a pretty amazing move to the upside on Morgan Stanley, and so did Charles Schwab, man. All these positions just rallied so much to the north side today. It was monstrous. Looks like Charles Schwab actually started rallying in pre-market. $60, $62, $64, opening up pretty much near the range that it traded sideways in all day. So that's not the best, obviously. You don't want to see that. But Charles Schwab also joining that bandwagon of all the banks are amazing, especially after the whole bank stress test passing, right? Banks passing stress tests, some of these banks popping back up. 3 of these stocks that we just talked about had earnings. JP Morgan had earnings last Friday. And another stock over here that I want to bring up that did not have earnings but moved up quite a bit today, it's PACW. PACW moving back up to $9, sadly rejecting $9 later on in the day. But the fact that we moved up to 9 is amazing, right? We moved up to 9 is amazing. Now we get to see if the stock has more oomph to the upside, or does 9 keep on rejecting this position, act as a barrier, and stuff it back down. So if I was to draw a horizontal trend line somewhere around here, as you guys can see right around here, is somewhere around there is where I would kind of put the trend line in. What is that number? 920, 928, 930. Let's say 9 to 930. I think today's high was actually 930 to be exact, or 928 to be exact. Yeah, look at that. 920, 928. Yeah, today's high was 920. So a little bit shy of our line over there, but we like it. So if the stock can show us buying support, buyers especially coming in above $9, getting ready to push the stock up from 9 to 920, give us that breakout of 920 and maybe a move up to 10 or so. That's something that I for sure don't want to miss out on, right? PACW has been losing for a long time now. They have been in that basket of, regional banks that have been absolutely getting slapped to the downside. So I want to see that rescue coming in for PACW, for WAL, whose earnings comes out in 15 minutes for those of you interested. T-minus 15 minutes for your friends at WAL Industries. That's probably not their name. But for WAL to announce their earnings report. Couple other banks over here that let's go to these banks. Couple other banks that have earnings report tomorrow coming out. Pre-market is FHN and the Goldman Sachs, which I usually call them Goldman Sucks. Goldman Sachs coming out with earnings report pre-market. Overall expected earnings move of 3%. I almost said $3. 3%, which equates to a pop up to 347 and 347.50, or a drop down to 327.13. If you're interested in where the stock could possibly move to, I would suggest you to take notes of these numbers. They often come true. Shout out to our friends friends at Options AI. We're working on getting you guys referral link. That way, you guys get a discount and so on Options AI over here. But shout out to them for hooking us up with an account, because I love using it. These levels come so true so often. Expected a 3% move on Goldman Sachs to the upside. Once again, 347.50 or 327.14. Let's go to FHN. FHN expected move off of earnings is coming in at 4.6%, 12.23 to the downside or 13.43 to the upside. What was the last earnings move? The earnings last move was 1% up and down, but this time they're expecting 4%, almost 5% coming in. So a little bit of an elevation on expected earnings over here for FHN, especially with how all banks have been getting rescued a little bit. That is my understanding behind it. Now, walking away from the banking sector, we're going to Halliburton. Halliburton, another stock that has earnings tomorrow, early in the pre-market. So that one's expected to come in at 3.4%, as high as 39.39, sorry, or 36.83 to the downside. And the last stock that we're going to look at for this one, ASML. Is that ASML? Yeah, it's not ASML. Again, that's not ASML, Prad. ASML, click on that one. Earnings, this is like a $700 stock. Wow, never mind. I thought it was a $400 stock. $700 stock over here on ASML. Obviously, low volume. Probably very spready. You want to be careful. Expected move 3.7%. They're expecting a pop up to 784.78. or a drop down to 729, let's say 730 to 729 drop on ASML in pre-market if it comes out. Halliburton, wow, a dinosaur. Yeah, indeed. Oil stocks, an absolute dinosaur. Doesn't really do too much volume, but if it does have a good earnings report, it will do volume for sure, and it will be fun to trade. I've traded that stock plenty of times on earnings days. That's why it's on my watch list. That's why I brought it up. And we have some levels to watch now, thanks to, again, Options AI for bringing us those levels over there. Well, for anyone wondering how those levels are calculated, they're calculated by options contracts being the puts and the longs and everything being put in there. The Greeks. I kept wanting to say Greeks, but the only word was coming out of my mouth was gamma. But the Greeks and everything else coming into the calculations over there, helping us find the implied expected volatility options move on ASML here. Walking away from now Options AI and all the numbers that they show us, let's quickly run back to our friend IBKR. IBKR still dropping down, now at a low of $83.61. Looks like it wants to still keep dropping down. Not looking good over here for for IBKR. In about 10 minutes or so, we got WAL coming out with the earnings report. So watch out for that one. We'll come back to WAL in about T-minus 10 minutes for those of you interested. Now, I want to circle back to a stock that had earnings today, Lockheed Martin. Something that I actually didn't look at all day. Lockheed Martin, big down move coming in on Lockheed Martin. Looks like they are actually not doing that well at the moment. So let's go to the daily chart. Lockheed Martin with the earnings date today, July 18th, pre-market. Yeah, today, not sure why. It's supposed to have like a yellow bar over here. It didn't show me a yellow bar. But the earnings day today coming in, and obviously missing out on that earnings. Originally popping up, and then later on selling off pretty drastically. Obviously a $400 stock. Usually doesn't have too much volume. It's pretty choppy. You want to be careful with it. But with everything that's going on with Russia, Ukraine too, you might want to be a little careful with trading this position, right? Because even with bad earnings, one catalyst from the Russia-Ukraine side could just launch the stock to the upside, or in the other direction, to the downside. Anything could happen. So you want to be pretty careful when you're trading Lockheed Martin, especially with such new space events can sway the market, sway the stock in either places. But overall, with the catalyst in place right now that we're looking at, it's going to be the earnings catalyst. And I'm looking for a move down to somewhere around these areas of 450, 447, 450, 445 coming into play. Today's low What is today's low? Today's low, 454.28. Maybe we can look for a 450 break on Lockheed Martin for a ride down to 454. That's something that I'm going to be looking for. Earnings were good, says Mike Pena. But sadly, the numbers, I mean, the market, the stock got beat up hard time. So let's go take a look at that one. Like I said, I actually didn't look at Lockheed Martin all day, so I wouldn't know what happened over here as to why it moved around this way. Down 3% overall, and you're right. The numbers were good, but they weren't that big of a drastic beat. Estimated 15 billion, that's a pretty decent beat, right? But this one over here, only 4% beat on Lockheed Martin. Numbers are good. Maybe guidance was bad. So let's go quickly take a look at a website that I do like to use. Briefing.com, in-depth analysis. No, story stocks. Let's see if we can find anything about LMT over here. Right there, Lockheed Martin struggling to take off today despite registering solid numbers in Q2. Overall, Lockheed Martin's Q2 results may have displayed a few rough patches like tepid performance in MFC and MFC. Not sure what that is. And RMS, and a 30 BP contraction year over year in total segment operating margins to 11.1%. However, on the whole, LMT delivered solid numbers, including sequential spike in F-35 deliveries and continued strength in its wide mode space division. Although LMT's conference call at 11 o'clock ET could create volatility today, the company's long-term prospects remain bright. So that's probably what happened over here. A little bit on the 11 o'clock move. We can also go confirm to see if the stock started really moving at 11 o'clock or not. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. And as you guys can see right here, 11:20 or so, a big spike to the downside, taking the stock down multiple dollars. So something in the conference call clearly not being appreciated. I mean, the stock already started selling off the open. So you can't pinpoint exactly to that call and say that's exactly why it happened. It was already doing that. It was already on its way to sell off over here. But a big extension move over there from that conference call, something not being accepted by the market in those calls, obviously would have to be in there to know what's going on. But the numbers are good, and it looks like according to that report that we just read out loud, not too many bad things except for a couple misses over here coming across the board on their business side. So LMT possibly could drop down to 450, find support at 450, and then rip back up. So once again, that 450 area looks very key to me. We can watch for some supports being built in or the break of 450 for a ride down to even much lower over here on LMT. Obviously, good earnings report coming in, and bad conference call, I'm guessing. Nothing can be sweet than my 9. What are we talking about, chat? All right. Coming back to what the time is. The time is 4:24, so still waiting for 6 more minutes, apparently, approximately, for WAL's earnings report. So why don't we head over to the next stock that we find a trade over here. One of the movers for the last few days that have been absolutely crazy, and also in the list of basket of stocks that have earnings tomorrow. Right? A list of basket of stocks that have earnings tomorrow. The first one over here, Tesla. We all know that Tesla has earnings tomorrow, along with Netflix, UAL, IBM, LVS, Alcoa, I think, AA, and Steel Dynamics, STLD. So a bunch of stocks over here coming out with the earnings report. Very, very active earnings report day tomorrow in the after hours. Man, is it going to be... I'll be honest with you, chat. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous for tomorrow, okay? We're going to have to be on top of our A game. So I'm going to go home, probably start talking in the mirror as if all the stocks are moving at the same time and see how well I do. Practice for you guys. Because practice, we're talking about practice? Practice? We're talking about practice, not the game. But yeah. I can't wait to see all these movers happening and us having to cover all of that. Hopefully we can set some trades up for all of you over there in the after hours. I can see real quick on my screen that GitLab is moving around after hours. What are you doing there, GitLab? So let's go to the 1-minute chart. Looks like GitLab, oh no. GitLab is selling off over here. In the after hours, we got up to $54. We're now back down to 50, but we popped back to 52. GitLab's earnings is, we still got a good amount of time before GitLab has earnings, but for some reason, this bad boy is falling. We don't like that. Why poll get 4 times likes is beyond me, says TH. That's just how it goes. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, how about we help out the show? We help out TH, the viewer, who's very upset, I would be too, honestly, that the likes are getting more love, or sorry, the votes are getting more love than the like count. So please help us out. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We do all of this for free, and all we do is give you some, all we ask in return is some love, and hopefully that comes in some subscribes and some likes. People saying Shopify, Pratty, let's go check out Shopify. Shopify has been having a pretty decent day for the last week or so, but today's selling off, sadly, down 2% overall. Previously was down much more than that. We broke 66. I think this is on the New York market. Yeah, this is on the New York market. We broke 66. We pushed down slightly below 66, but bopping back above 66 and closing above 66 is always good. Shopify over here, Canadian company. Where can we find trades over this is what you guys are probably expecting for me to look at. So let's unlike that. Go to the one-day chart. Let's take a look. Shopify dropping right back into these ranges high and finding support is wonderful. That's exactly what you want to see. Dropping back to these ranges, finding support right around this area. I would look for support to be built, all the way in this box. All the way from 66.88 to 65.50. So let's say 65.50 to 66, right? 65.50 to 66, I would like to see supports. I would like to see supports. Why can't I speak today? Supports being built into this range and establishing somewhat of a new area to be built into. Good night, Fabian. Get home safe, my friend. The gap has been closed. The recent gap that we made has been closed. Now we're expecting those buyers to step up and hold these new ranges for Shopify. So we'll wait and see if that one plays out. But going back to the list of stocks that have earnings tomorrow after hours, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Tesla. Tesla getting ready to go play with that 300 area one more time. It happened to be the first stock to get above 300 before Meta, obviously, is what I'm talking about. But Meta right now actually getting above 300 and holding above 300 in a beautiful fashion. So insane move over there for Meta. Tesla trying to catch up now, trying to get back to 300 and back above 300. Let's see if it is a possibility for the stock tomorrow before earnings. If that happens before earnings, then clearly somebody knows something. Somebody knows something on this position, and they're getting ready to, absolutely smash those longs to the upside. I did hear, however, shout out to Brendo, who makes our every single morning watch lists. Comes out every single morning at, I believe, right before 8 o'clock or so, sometimes around 8. If you go look at our watch list over here, you'll see Tesla shows up that Kathy Wood's ARK investment has apparently sold $13 million worth of Tesla shares on the Monday following the recent run-up. So if Kathy Wood is taking profits on Tesla, I would be wondering how many other people are looking to take profits on Tesla before the earnings number, just to kind of protect the run that the stock has had all of this year and so on. And then maybe we do have some selling coming in on that possible catalyst. Obviously, you would think that would play out today too. I think Tesla at one point, I know that Tesla at one point today was negative, and it absolutely turned positive like the market. The market turned positive, Tesla turned positive, everything insane moves today. All of that obviously is a shout out to your boy Microsoft. Time to go look at WAL, ladies and gentlemen, as the earnings numbers should be coming out right about any moment. So let's go take a look at WAL. Looks like we did get a little bit of a pop already before earnings. We're looking for the numbers to come up. What is this? FBK First Bank now dropping. This one had earnings too. Looking at maybe any indications of our friend over there moving. Let's also quickly head back to our friends over here on options. AI, WAL. I got lots of friends, chat, lots of friends. Drake's talking about I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, got a lot of people trying to take me out of this energy. But for me, I got friends. I got a lot of friends trying to take me out of this energy. Over here, though, WAL apparently expected move up to 46.92. Let's say $47 expected. It's not there yet. So I don't think the numbers are out yet. We're going to have to be a little bit more patient for those numbers to come out. People in chat saying Carvana tanking. I think I did see CVNA somewhere in this list. Let me quickly look for it. CVNA, were you here? Yeah, you are. I just saw you here. Where'd you go? There you go. Oh, missed it again. There you go. Boom. CVNA is indeed dropping from $40 all the way down to $36, $38 coming in. Carvana selling off quite a bit over here. Sadly, not looking good for Carvana. But your most volume in the after hours right now looks like is on Tesla. Sorry, not Tesla. AT&T. What are the other stocks over here that we got doing the volume in the after hours? Can I please take a look? Oh, that's SQQ logos. I didn't know that. Tesla, Bank of America, TQs, SPY, Verizon, Ford, Microsoft. That stock was insane today, man. Absolutely insane. But right now, here goes Carvana to the downside. People are saying WAL to the moon. Looks like the numbers are coming out right now. WAL getting ready to go straight to the upside, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes that 46 area target that we've been watching. Oh, wow. Never mind. WAL turning around. Looks like that rescue is not here for the banking sector. Let's go look at the sympathy trade here on PAC Dubskis. Looks like that $9 area we're looking for the stock to hold will not be coming into play tomorrow. If this stock is anywhere back to 9 tomorrow, we could look for some shorts maybe. But WAL over here now dropping to that $40 area. Wow, we thought the moon was coming in, but looks like the booster rockets actually blew up as we were taking off, sadly. Oh man, that's not good. Huge delay on the feed, says chat. Yeah, we apologize for that, chat. Sadly, we have to add the delay because the captions, the live captions, the stream needs to be on a certain amount of delay for the live captions to pick up. The AI needs to pick it up and work and then put it onto the stream over there. So there's a little bit more delay than the normal delay that the show has. It's just something that we're trying out because people were talking about, how they wanted to captions for the stream. So we do apologize. Please bear with us, especially during, earnings season over here when you want to know the latest movers right at the moment that they're happening. This delay is not the best for you guys. So I do apologize for that one. But the wow, profit taking or sellers punching in, whatever it is, the stock is absolutely getting beat up at the moment. And if you're not having fun with that, I don't know what will. Maybe you'll have fun with what's coming up next.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
Live capture's not worth the delay, broski. It's not my call, mate. Not my call. I'm just an employee, right? It's not my call. I don't make the calls here. I can agree and I can deny with that statement, though, sadly. And people are saying closed captions not working anyway. Well, I can't go in and change the latency for the stream now, so I do apologize. I will take your feedback and I will pass it along to the person in charge and see what do they think about it. So we do apologize, chat. We apologize for the delay today. Hopefully you can bear with it. We do know that tomorrow is a very important day. Maybe for tomorrow we can think about turning it off or not. But hey, we just have to deal with it for today, right? Today, WAL, after dropping down to 40, showing us some support at the opening prices. Right at the opening price coming in, a bounce for WAL, moving back to looks like VWAP. We're now rejecting VWAP slightly for the same position. WAL reported quarterly earnings of 1.96 per share, which missed the analyst consensus estimate of 1.98 by 1.01%. This is a 17.99% decrease over earnings of 2.39 per share coming in from Justin. Thank you, Justin, in the chat for throwing in throwing in the report over there. But here's WAL actually popping back up right now as we're talking about it. Looks like the stock wants to get rescued. It wants to get saved. We're moving back up at the moment, but the VWAP projection is what I'm looking for, and it is showing up. There we go. VWAP projection once again, and clearly the stock is very volatile. We are going to have our eyes on the stock tomorrow without doubt, ladies and gentlemen, so don't you worry about it. PACW and WAL all day will be most likely something I'll be watching to trade. We're going to have fun. Couple other stocks, obviously, that I was getting back into the rhythm over here. Tesla, we looked at Tesla for that possible move to 300, maybe even the move past 300 coming into play. We'll see how this stock plays intraday. Another stock that has earnings after hours tomorrow and is trying to march back to all-time high ranges is going to be NFLX. NFLX usually sets the tone for how the stock market comes out with earnings report. If Netflix and Tesla come out with good earnings report, usually the whole market comes out with a good earnings report. So we like to look at Netflix, we like to look at Tesla and how they move. Tomorrow will be very, very fun to see how the intraday move happens, but the after hour move is what we're very much looking for. I think if we quickly go to the options AI moves over here, let's go quickly run through some of these stocks. Tesla options AI earnings move expected is 6.4%. Keep in mind these numbers will bye cat, good night. Keep in mind these numbers will be moving around as the stock moves around throughout the day and new options get into the positions and get out of their positions. So Tesla, gotta keep this bad boy on watch. NFLX. NFLX's earnings move expected at the moment is about 7.4% overall. UAL, IBM, we can talk about these ones later on tomorrow, but keep in mind we have all fun stocks coming out with earnings without doubt. So here are the charts for those. NFLX's 475 area looks pretty interesting. We kind of rejected that area today too. UAL, airlines have been pretty hot recently. American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Southwest Airlines, Spirit Airlines. I could keep on going for days. So UAL over here, if they come out with good earnings report, I think we could watch for this one, move up to the north side. Vocal cords a Twitter as cat leaves. Not sure what that means. But UAL over here getting a nice little move to the upside, and I think if UAL comes out with good earnings report, we could get that move to the upside on all other. I got a super chat over here that I go through. That's why I'm getting distracted. We could get a move through to the north side on all other airlines too. Again, another move on American Airlines, another move on DAL, and maybe even CCL, which has been popping up recently into new ranges. I think CCL today sold off though, if I remember correctly. Let's quickly go check out what CCL did. CCL ended up positive on the day. It was looking a little negative off the open, but ended up positive on the day. So UAL, CCL, all these travel sectors could come back into play as a sympathy trade off of that numbers, earnings coming up. IBM. Coming up, IBM over here. We do like trading IBM on earnings day. The stock usually just sticks into one direction and goes with it. So tomorrow after hours, IBM earnings report, and then the next day we get to trade off of it based on how the stock sets up and look for some levels off of this. LVS, if you are a gambler like me, if you're a degen like me who likes to blow all of his income on sports betting, hopefully my mom's not watching this, because I will get a phone call right away saying, "What are you doing? You're blowing all your money on sports gambling?" No, Mom, I'm not. I'm not, Mom. I promise you, I'm not. But yeah, LVS over here, if you're interested in what this stock might be doing in the future, like I am, there's some very, very clean levels to take a look at, especially this multiple top coming in around 60. With this one's earnings report coming out, we could see a run past 60 or a rejection of 60, so we'll watch for LVS. Another stock coming up is Alcoa AA. Alcoa Corporation sadly has been selling off for quite some time now. If you're listening to the Trade Ideas algo, you're getting burnt, because this one's telling you to buy here, and buy here, and you're currently a bag holder. But is this all-time low on Alcoa? Let's go quickly check on this one. No, not all-time low, but we are pretty much at a long-term resistance over here. As you guys can take a look at that, long-term resistance coming in around $40 on Alcoa. So if we can actually, on a positive earnings report, go test that 40 or even push past 40, I think the stock easily has a run up to 42.50 area to the north side. But if on a negative earnings report, then you can forget about that move up to 40 or even up to 42.50. I think the stock immediately pops back to the downside to somewhere in the lower end of these ranges. What's that, 31? $30 maybe coming into play over here for these bad boys on Alcoa. Last but not least, STLD, Steel Dynamics, coming up with another earnings report tomorrow, aftermarket tomorrow. And based on how this one could move, I don't really have too much experience trading this stock, so I can't really tell you. I mean, the volume looks light. Today's volume, 900,000 shares. I'm not sure if this stock does too much volume throughout the intraday. So I don't think I'm comfortable giving you levels on this position. Yeah, look at that. Average 10-day volume, 1 million. It's not even a strong volume-based stock, but hey, the chart's looking good. We're pretty much near all-time highs. I'm guessing we're at near 52-week high. Here's the yearly chart. Let's just throw that line right there. It looks like 112, 113. If the stock has positive earnings report, I don't see why the stock doesn't get past 112, 113 area and starts making a run up to the north side on a swing trade scale. So these are the levels that I'll possibly be looking for. We also got a little bit of a gap close towards 115. So if 113 breaks, we possibly gap close to 115, and then possible shorts being built into that trade over there. Let's come back to WAL to see what this one's doing now, to see if this one has dropped it like it's hot, or did it pick itself back up. Looks like still constant rejection of VWAP coming in the after hours. 42 not showing buyers. We're still dropping over here on WAL, ladies and gentlemen. And looks like this VWAP area, 42, 43, let's say. $43 coming in as a rejection right now for WAL. We actually closed around 43 also. So 43 area where we closed around, and where the stock also had a little bit of a buying coming in later on in the day, is now turning into a wall and pushing this position to the downside. I'm expecting PAC-W to kind of look the same a little bit. It's not truly a rejection of 9, but yeah, looking very much similar, popping back up and rejecting VWAP and dying back down over here. These are going to be most likely my go-to trades on the day tomorrow, but you also have, I gave you the call out for AT&T and Verizon longs. Right? Hopefully you took attention to those AT&T and Verizon longs. Those both worked out today for you guys, right? They both worked out. Amazing long off the open. Sadly, did come back down later. I had that short on Verizon. You saw me take that short on Verizon, take profits at VWAP, and I missed out on the bigger move back down because somewhat of a saving grace move was expected on Verizon and on AT&T, so that came out. But on the longer time scale now, they both got immediately stuffed right back to the downside. The question is, where do these stocks go tomorrow? I think we could see how these levels that we formed today and yesterday play out. Today was completely in yesterday's ranges. If tomorrow was also in yesterday's range, then you have levels to play in. So AT&T and Verizon are very much important for me to take a look at tomorrow. Today was an amazing day. Hope everyone made profit. I'm gonna head out and see y'all tomorrow. It says chill vibes, my friend. Good night. Get home safe. If you're already home, then have fun. Today was, I already read that. Let's go take a look at the WAL again real quick. I want to see if it's dropping. Yeah, it's hanging out. So why don't we take this quick second over here as we are running into, wow, that the time just ran by. The time just ran by. That was insane. Only 15 minutes left or so over here before I kind of have to shut it down and run home to go play New World. But over here, yeah, we got Nick Garcia. I do high leverage trading. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Nick Garcia. I do high leverage trading after close because it's kind of floats and you scalp $5 away with 50 contracts. I'll zone back in and you can just crack me up. Because it kind of floats and you scalp $5 with 50 contracts. I'll zone back in and you just crack me up. I'm guessing you're saying thank you for helping you with the jokes over there. I'm not sure, but thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm trying to understand if there's a question or something over there, but it looks like it was just a general statement. So thank you. Thank you for the support. $5 super chat coming up from our community #1 comedian, Nicole Harris. I've yet to take a look at your stand-up routines. Nicole Harris would love to take a look at that. Thank you for the support on another $5 super chat. Thanks for doing the show, Prad. We can all look up the earnings on our platform. The show tells us what earnings candidate is moving up and down after hour. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's the kind of the point of the show. Not only do I get to show you what earnings are actually moving up and down, obviously you guys can all take a look at, what earnings are coming up, but yeah, kind of to look at what stocks are moving and what stocks are moving around at the moment. Right now, WAL, that's the one. And also give you guys levels as to how options are setting themselves up. And I gave you guys multiple options levels too. WAL expected to drop down to $39 or something. We'll check out if that one comes out like that. IBKR was expected to drop down to, I believe, if I remember correctly, let's just pull it up. I think it was somewhere down to $82. We haven't seen that number come in just yet, but we're expecting that $82 flush coming in maybe later on in the day. Keep in mind, markets close at 8 o'clock. So a lot of time left over here for the markets to close. Real quick, just want to tell you guys what's on my watch list tomorrow. It's all the banks without fail. Bank of America, Charles Schwab, Morgan Stanley, WAL, PACW, JP Morgan, WFC. So all the big banks are on my watch list. I'll even have IBKR just in case any trades set up over there. LMT is on my watch list. Tomorrow morning, any stocks that have earnings in the morning, such as Goldman Sachs, ASML, HAL are on my watch list. Movers that moved around today, Tesla, Lucid, Rivian, basically movers that have been moving. Carvana, AI, Activision. Activision, did that stock move around in the after hours? That stock was supposed to kind of figure out what it wanted to do today because the deal ended today, or the deadline was today. No real move coming in Activision in the after hours at the moment. Still holding up in this 93 area, so shout out to Activision over there. Let's go to Coinbase and Bitcoin and friends, because these stocks have started to go back to the downside, sadly. Bitcoin getting back below 30K is not the best thing overall. So now we're watching Coinbase actually break 105, go back to 102. Looks like this 102 area might come into play tomorrow, especially if Bitcoin keeps pulling back. But if Bitcoin doesn't pull back and keeps on going up, maybe that 105 or even that 106 re-entry to the north side for a possible move back to 108, 110 areas on Coinbase are fun to look out for. On a quick glance, I actually like how Coinbase is trading these days. I mean, look, the spread's nasty and the stock's wild, but if you cut out the fugazi, as Obi says, you can look for possible level breaks easily, such as a 110 break long or a 108 break short. Hindsight's 2020. Everyone's the best trader after 4 o'clock, right? We just need to be watching these levels at that moment as they set up and trade said levels when they come out. Platinum Pride is a beast, says Andy Fisichella. Thank you. I appreciate the kind comments. You are very, very kind. You are very, very kind. All right, let's head to the last few things over here on the show that we like to do. Let's take a look at after-hour movers on a scanner that we might have missed out on. SMX penny stock moved around with 11 million shares, popped up 23% for those of you interested. V-Ray moved around too, but to the downside with 6.5 million shares. SPY, MULN, ENB, Enbridge. Canadian Power, Enbridge. Moving around a little bit, but no result. Ended up flat on that move. XLF banking sector makes sense. RLX. What is RLX? RLX technology. Apparently moving somewhere. It's a dollar position, moving a little bit more to the downside. Looks like it just moved today intraday, so that's just what's showing up over here. AT&T, we knew that. Another penny stock over here, and the rest of these positions, no real volume coming in. Let's filter this by volume. No volume to the upside. Any big gainers to the upside? No big gainers to the upside. Any big gainers to the downside? Some small gainers to the downside or decliners. No volume yet on the decliner side showing up with big volume, so let's move away from that one. IPO calendar. I believe tomorrow we do have a pretty okay IPO coming out. Where is that one? Right here. Oddity Tech. Oddity Tech. Ooh. The offer amount actually went up for Oddity Tech. It was 300,000 before. Now we're looking at 300 million before. Now we're looking at 400 million. The offer shares are 10 million, 10.5 million shares being offered to the market. Expected price for the stock to open is $32 to $34. So I can't wait to see where this stock opens up at and where the stock moves around at. We'll for sure have this one on our watch list tomorrow. ODD. Make sure you put it on your watch list too. We'll see when the stock opens and moves around. Most likely during the midday show. We see stocks opening around the midday show all the time and then moving around. So we'll keep that on the watch without fail. ODD with an IPO coming out tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a quick glance at the expected Fed rate hike tool. Now it's at a 99.8%. 99.8% expectations coming in for a 0.25 rate hike instead of previously 70, previously 80, as we get closer and closer to the FOMC date of 26th July. So 26th July, just around the corner. We'll watch out for how that one plays out over there. Couple quick honorary mentions from the day today. UPST, I think UPST had a pretty monster day. Unity had a pretty good day too. Looking to see if they're actually on the gainers list. They're not on the gainers list, surprisingly enough. So quick shout out to Unity. I thought Unity had a pretty good day. I remember looking at it. Yeah, here's... Did they end flat at the end of the day? Yeah, I guess it ended... No, it ended up 2%. Okay, what am I looking at? Oh, I'm looking at the after-hour mover. Okay, so Unity did have a pretty good day overall. 2% move upside. UPST, Upstart, also had a pretty monster move off the open. Oh, look at that. Where does that line come from? Chat. Is it harder than that? Is it really any harder than that? Look at that line right there coming in from the high from May 2022. 20th May 2022 high coming in exactly around that area for UPST to reject today, and it gave you multiple chances to short that area. Obviously, you would have gotten burnt if you tried first, but this is the backside. We always talk about the market showing you the backside on some positions where you can short it at and then have fun. That 55 area is so very important on UPST. I think tomorrow, if we break out of this 55 area on UPST, you simply get long and enjoy the ride to the north side. I'm actually putting this on my watch list over here as I put some notes down for this one. UPST 55 break long. It's as simple as that. Look out for that stock to come out play. Tesla 300 break long or 300 level. I'm just going to put 300, but UPST 55, if it comes back into play tomorrow, the break could be immense. 55, 56 breaks. We got an awesome run up to the north side on a swing scale too for a gap close. So you can go take a look at that trade over here. Pull back the chart. We got the gap close trade coming into $76 for a swing trade. This was a stock that was previously at $400. So hey, lots of room to the upside incoming if the stock actually can start taking off. I'm very excited that I actually remembered to take a look at this. It was just an honorary mention. I usually don't trade this position, but now that we're coming back into this area and a gap close trade is incoming, new ranges are about to get discovered that the stock is previously not discovered because it just gapped to the downside. So I can't wait for it. Let's have some fun on UPST breakout or rejection. UPST breakout or rejection tomorrow. Looking for a couple other things over here. Where is the economic calendar? There you are. Economic calendar for tomorrow. We got building permits. So obviously you can look for home builders such as Lennar, L-E-N, or even home insurance companies. I can't think of any off the top of my dome, but home insurance companies, maybe Gecko. I'm not sure if Gecko is actually on the market, but Gecko or some other insurance companies like that coming in for a trade around 8:30. Oil inventories 10:30. You can go look for oil trades maybe at 10:30 tomorrow. Those are apparently the only two important dates, important market economic data coming out tomorrow. Building permits and crude oil numbers. And if I'm just looking to make sure I'm not forgetting anything over here for you guys. Yeah, I think we pretty much hit everything but one thing, which is to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming, as always, to the best ever market show out there. You're not going to find a better show that does it from 8:30 till 5 o'clock every single day, talking about the market, showing you different kind of traders, different trading setups, different trading analogies, the way different traders even tilt. Right? That way you get to see how you tilt, and maybe you go, I've seen myself do that before. Maybe I shouldn't do that. So, all in the name of, educate, entertain, and inform. Hopefully we've done that today. Hopefully I've done that today on this show today and helped you with, some trades, some ideas, some levels, put some money into your account. The show is brought to you by, as you guys can see, the QR code right down there. Scan the QR code to learn more, or visit daytradetheworld.com, or email us at marketing@daytradetheworld.com to open up your own floor, or to work at a floor like one you see behind us every single day on the traders. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you as always for coming in, showing some love, showing some support. Thank you for everybody who hit the like, and thank you for everybody who also did not hit the like. That's fine. Maybe tomorrow you'll hit the like for us and show some love for Kat, for myself, for Sean, for Neil, for Brendan, for Max, for Obi, for Sharif, for Ramin, Fabian, Mark, Rob, Randy. Trying to do a little bit of a Sean there, because Sean usually does that and he's not here. For everyone from Trader TV Live, from me especially, from the bottom of my heart, good night. Thank you. See you guys tomorrow, 8:30. Ciao.